Hello? My girlfriend looked at me and said, I'm moving out tonight. Don't try to stop me. I didn't argue. I just said, okay. After she left, I canceled her cards and changed the locks. 2 days later, she was standing on my doorstep, crying, begging to be let back in. I'm Mark, 29M. My girlfriend, Lena, 27F. We've been together just over 2 years and living together for one. On paper, we're fine. No cheating that I know of. No dramatic blow-ups. Just constant tension. The kind that lives in the tone of someone's voice, the eye rolls, the way every disagreement somehow ends with you apologizing even when you don't know what you did wrong. Lena has always been sharp-tongued, but she calls it being honest. If I forget to replace the paper towels, I'm incompetent. If I ask her to tell me when she'll be late, I'm controlling. If I stay quiet, I'm pouting. I learned early that peace came from letting things slide. Last Friday night, she came home already irritated, tossed her purse on the counter, kicked off her shoes, sighed like I personally ruined her day. I asked how work was. She snapped that she didn't want to talk about it. 5 minutes later, she accused me of not caring because I stopped asking. That's how it always goes. Then, out of nowhere, she said it. Calm. Flat. Practiced. I'm moving out tonight. Don't try to stop me. She stood there waiting, arms crossed, chin tilted up. This wasn't a discussion, it was a performance. I could tell she expected bargaining. Promises. Maybe panic. I felt something strange instead. Relief. Like the noise in my head finally shut off. I just said, okay. Her eyebrows twitched. Just for a second. She laughed like I'd missed a cue. Wow. That's it. Figures. She went into the bedroom and started yanking drawers open, muttering under her breath about how she did everything, and I never stepped up. I sat on the couch listening to hangers scrape metal rods, thinking about all the times she threatened to leave before. She never meant it. This time felt different. When she walked out with 2 suitcases, she didn't look at me. She slammed the door hard enough to rattle the frame. I waited until her car pulled away before I stood up. That's when I made my first decision. I didn't do anything dramatic right away. No rage cleaning. No texting her friends. I just stood there in the living room, staring at the dent her suitcase will left in the drywall near the door. It hit me then how quiet the place was without her commentary filling every corner. I checked my phone. No messages. That annoyed me more than it should have. Normally, even when she left, she'd text within the hour. Something passive-aggressive like, I can't believe you didn't even try, or this says everything about you. Nothing this time. I walked into the bedroom and noticed what she took and what she didn't. Her clothes were gone, obviously. Makeup, laptop, the expensive hair dryer she always reminded me she paid for. But she left the things she didn't think about, the shared stuff, the streaming accounts, the grocery delivery app, the credit cards we used for household expenses, all in my name. I sat on the edge of the bed and laughed under my breath. Not because it was funny, because it was predictable. Lena loved leverage. She loved being the one who left, knowing she could still reach back in whenever it suited her. Borrow the car. Use the cards. Just until I get settled. She'd done it before with her ex, according to stories she told like they were war medals. Around midnight, my phone buzzed. Lena, don't touch my stuff. I'll come back for the rest tomorrow. No, are you okay? No, can we talk? Just a command. I stared at the message for a long time before replying. Me, okay. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Lena, wow, you really don't care at all, do you? I locked my phone and set it face down. That's when the second decision happened, not out of anger, but clarity. I opened my banking app. All the shared cards were there. All active. All one tap away from being not. I thought about every time she called me selfish while spending my money. Every time she said, you'd be nothing without me pushing you. By 12:37 a.m., the cards were frozen. By 12:52, I was on the phone with a locksmith, scheduling a rekey for the morning. I slept better than I had in months. I didn't know yet how hard she was going to crash when she realized I meant okay. I woke up to my phone vibrating itself across the nightstand. 7 missed calls. All from Lena. I didn't answer. I lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to the unfamiliar quiet, letting the phone buzz until it stopped. Then it started again, text this time. Lena, why are my cards declining? Lena, did you seriously cancel them? Lena, this is childish, Mark. Lena, answer me. I rolled onto my side and checked the time. 8:14 a.m. She'd probably tried to buy coffee or gas. The thought didn't make me feel guilty. It made me feel done. The locksmith showed up at 9. Middle-aged guy, polite, didn't ask questions. I stood there while he changed the locks. watching the old keys pile up in his palm. Each click of metal felt final in a way I hadn't expected. When he left, I texted Lena once. Me, you said you were moving out. I took you at your word. The reply came instantly. Lena, are you kidding me? You locked me out? Lena, I was emotional. You know I didn't mean it like that. There it was. The rewrite. The part where I was supposed to apologize for believing her. She showed up that afternoon anyway. I saw her car from the window, parked crooked like she was already angry. She marched up to the door and tried her key. Once. Twice. Then she started knocking. Not polite knocking. The kind meant to draw attention. Mark, she yelled. Open the door. This is insane. I didn't open it. My phone lit up again. Lena, if you don't open this door right now, you'll regret it. I leaned against the wall, heart pounding, surprised by how calm I felt. Not powerful. Not smug. Just steady. Me, you told me not to try to stop you. There was a pause. Longer this time. Then, so you're really doing this? After everything I put up with? I almost laughed. Almost. She stayed outside for 10 minutes. Then 20. Her knock softened. Turned into pleading. She texted about how unfair this was. How she had nowhere to go. How she just needed a few days. I didn't respond. Eventually, she left. That night, I realized something important. This wasn't revenge. It was boundaries, set too late, but finally set. And she was not used to doors that stayed closed. The second day was worse for her. I know because she made sure I knew. It started with voicemails. Not the screaming kind yet. Those came later, but the wounded, performative ones. The ones where she sniffles just enough for it to register. Mark, I don't understand why you're doing this to me, she said in one. I thought you loved me. I listened to that one twice. Not because I believed it, but because I wanted to remember how easily she could switch roles. Villain to victim in under 24 hours. By noon, the tone shifted. You can't legally do this, she said in another message, suddenly very confident for someone who never read a lease. You're being abusive. You're controlling my access to my own things. Her own things. The cards were in my name. The lease was in my name. The locks were on my door. She knew all of that. She just didn't think it would ever matter. Around 3 p.m., she texted me a screenshot. Her bank balance. Almost zero. Lena, are you happy now? I stared at it for a long moment. I thought about all the times she told me money wasn't a big deal when it was mine, and a huge source of anxiety when it was hers. Me, you said you were leaving. I didn't stop you. That sent her over the edge. She accused me of planning this, of waiting for a chance to trap her. She called me cold, manipulative, emotionally stunted. She told me no one else would put up with me. Classic hits. I'd heard them all before, usually whispered in my ear after she'd crossed a line. Then came the message that told me everything I needed to know. Lena, just open the door. I'll come back. We'll reset. Not apologize. Not talk. Reset. Like a game where she just wanted to reload a save file from before consequences existed. I didn't reply. That night, I sat on the couch eating takeout straight from the container, realizing something uncomfortable. I wasn't sad. I wasn't even angry. I felt lighter, like someone had finally stopped pressing on my chest. 2 days after she left, there was a knock at the door again. Softer this time. When I looked through the peephole, Lena was sitting on the hallway floor. Makeup smeared. Eyes red. Phone clutched in her hand like a lifeline. She wasn't yelling now. She was crying. And she was about to ask to come home. I didn't open the door right away. I stood there with my hand on the knob, listening to her breathe on the other side. It was uneven, exaggerated, the kind of crying she used when she wanted someone to intervene. I'd seen it before, at restaurants, at parties, once in front of my friends when I didn't back her up fast enough. Mark, she said softly, like we were sharing a secret. Please. I opened the door just enough to look at her. She looked rough. No jacket. Hair pulled back like she'd given up halfway. Her phone screen was cracked, spiderwebbed from a drop she probably blamed on someone else. She didn't stand up. She stayed seated, looking up at me like that angle would do the work for her. I just need to come inside, she said. I don't have anywhere else. I leaned against the doorframe. Didn't move aside. You moved out, I said. Her face tightened for half a second before she smoothed it out. I was emotional. You know how I get. You were supposed to stop me. There it was again. The expectation. Like my role had always been to absorb whatever she threw and hold everything together while she burned things down. She reached for my leg. I stepped back. Don't, I said. That snapped something in her. The tears dried instantly. So that's it, she said, standing now. You're just going to throw me away? I didn't raise my voice. You left. She laughed, sharp, bitter. You really think you're some hero here? Canceling cards? Changing locks? Do you know how humiliating that was? I nodded. You told me not to stop you. She stared at me like she was seeing me for the first time. Not hurt. Not sad. Calculating. Let me stay a few nights, she said. Just until I figure things out. You owe me that. I felt it then. The moment something fully detached. No anger. No guilt. Just clarity. I don't owe you access, I said. Her mouth opened. Closed. Her eyes filled again. But this time it didn't reach her voice. You're going to regret this, she said quietly. When you realize what you lost. I thought about the silence. The peace. Sleeping through the night. I already know what I lost, I said. She stood there for a long moment, waiting for me to crack. I didn't. When I closed the door, she didn't knock again. But I knew she wasn't done. She didn't come back that night. Instead, the messages started again around midnight. Longer this time. Paragraphs. Screenshots. Voice notes I didn't open. She bounced between anger and nostalgia, like she was flipping through a playlist she thought would get me back. Lena, I stayed with a friend who doesn't even have a couch. Lena, I hope you're happy sleeping comfortably while I'm treated like trash. Lena, do you even miss me? I didn't respond. That silence clearly bothered her more than anything I'd done so far. The next morning, she tried a different angle. Soft. Reflective. Dangerous. Lena, I've been thinking about my behavior. I wasn't always fair to you. Lena, I can work on it. We can do therapy. I'll change. I stared at that one for a long time. Not because I believed it, but because a version of me from 6 months ago would have folded immediately. That guy would have said, okay, let's try, and carried the weight alone again. Instead, I typed nothing. Around noon, my phone buzzed with a call from an unknown number. I answered before I could stop myself. It was her sister. She didn't say hello. Just jumped straight in. What the hell is wrong with you? I pulled the phone away from my ear for a second, then put it back. Hi to you too. She's been crying nonstop, her sister snapped. You cut her off with no warning. That's cruel. I kept my voice calm. She moved out. She told me not to stop her. That doesn't mean you had to do all this, she said. Canceling cards? Changing locks? Who does that? Someone who was told it was over, I said. There was a pause. Then, quieter. She didn't think you'd actually let her go. That line sat between us. I did, I said. Her sister hung up without another word. That afternoon, I boxed up the rest of Lena's things. Not out of spite. Out of closure. I labeled everything neatly. Clothes. Shoes. Random junk she accused me of losing over the years. I stacked the boxes by the door. I texted her once. Me, your things are packed. You can pick them up this weekend. I'll leave them outside. She replied almost instantly. Lena, so that's it? After 2 years? I looked around the apartment. Calm. Quiet. Mine. Me. You made that decision. I just respected it. She didn't text back after that. But I knew the story she was about to tell everyone wasn't going to sound like this at all. I found out what stories she told people without even asking. A mutual friend texted me that evening. Short. Careful. The kind of message people send when they're trying not to pick a side. Hey man, are you okay? Lena said you locked her out and cut her off financially without warning. I stared at that line for a long time. Without warning. I typed, deleted, retyped. Then I sent the simplest version of the truth. She told me she was moving out and not to stop her. I believed her. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Then, oh, that one word felt heavier than any argument we'd had in 2 years. Over the next day, more messages came in. Friends I hadn't heard from in months. People just checking in. No accusations, just curiosity. I didn't defend myself. I didn't vent. I answered calmly, consistently. Same facts. Same tone. Something interesting happened. The narrative stopped spreading. By Friday night, Lena texted again. Different energy this time. No anger. No tears. Cold. Lena, I can't believe you're letting people think I'm the bad guy. I sighed. Not because I felt bad, but because this was the part where she finally realized she'd lost control of the story. Me. I didn't tell anyone anything that wasn't true. She waited nearly an hour before responding. Lena, you're really okay with never seeing me again? That question used to terrify me. I used to imagine her absence like a hole in the world. Now, it just felt hypothetical. Me, you already left. That was the last message I sent her. Saturday morning, I carried her boxes outside. Lined them up neatly by the door like I promised. I didn't wait around. I went for a long walk, grabbed coffee, sat in the park longer than I needed to. When I came back, the boxes were gone. So was her number from my phone. No goodbye, no apology, no dramatic final message. Just quiet. And for the first time since I met her, the quiet felt honest. I don't know what she tells people now. I don't really care. All I know is this. When someone says they're leaving and dares you not to stop them, sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is believe them. I thought that would be the end of it. That's the lie people tell themselves when things finally go quiet. 3 days passed. No messages. No calls. No surprise appearances. I started settling into routines that were actually mine. Going to the gym when I wanted, cooking without commentary, leaving dishes in the sink without a trial attached to it. The apartment stopped feeling like a shared space and started feeling like a home. Then Tuesday night, around 9 p.m., there was another knock. Not frantic, not soft, confident. I looked through the peephole and felt my stomach tighten, not because I missed her, but because I recognized the tactic. Lena stood there with her mother. Her mom had that tight smile adults use when they're about to scold someone else's child. Arms folded, chin up. Lena stood slightly behind her, eyes red, expression carefully neutral. Like this wasn't her idea, but it absolutely was. I opened the door halfway. Her mom spoke first. "Mark, this has gone far enough. I didn't invite them in. You embarrassed her," she continued. "You left her with nothing. That's not how adults handle conflict." I nodded slowly. She moved out. Lena finally spoke. "I didn't think you'd take it this far." There it was again. That expectation that my role was to absorb damage, not respond to it. Her mom sighed dramatically. "Relationships have arguments. You don't punish someone for being emotional." "I didn't punish anyone," I said. I respected what she said. Lena's jaw tightened. "You're acting like you're the victim." That line used to knock the wind out of me. This time, it just sounded tired. "I'm not a victim," I said. "I'm just done." Her mom stepped closer. "So you're really throwing away 2 years because you couldn't be the bigger person?" I met Lena's eyes. She looked uncertain, not angry, not sad, uncertain, like this wasn't playing out the way she'd rehearsed. "I was the bigger person for 2 years," I said. "I'm choosing something else now." Silence. Her mom scoffed. "You'll regret this." Maybe. But standing there, holding my ground without shaking, I realized something important. For the first time, I wasn't afraid of her walking away. I was afraid of letting her back in. They left after that. No slam. No final insult. Just disappointment thick in the hallway like perfume. I closed the door and leaned my forehead against it, not because I was weak, but because I needed a second to let the adrenaline drain. Standing up for yourself after years of not doing it feels unnatural, like using a muscle you forgot existed. An hour later, Lena texted me from a new number. "I didn't think you'd turn my own mom against me." I didn't reply. Another message followed. "I guess I really didn't know you." That one almost made me laugh. Almost. Because the truth was simpler and harder at the same time. She knew exactly who I was. She just counted on me staying that way. That night, I finally let myself replay the relationship without editing it to be kinder than it deserved. The way every argument ended with me explaining myself while she crossed her arms. The way jokes about me being useless somehow landed every time I succeeded at something. The way she only threatened to leave when she wanted control back. I saw it clearly now. The moving out wasn't a breakup to her. It was a power play. A bluff she'd used before, just louder this time. She didn't expect me to call it. The next morning, I changed a few more things. Updated passwords. Removed her email from shared accounts. Not out of spite. Out of closure. Each small task felt like reclaiming square footage in my own head. Around noon, a final message came through. "Lena, if you open the door now, we can still fix this." I stared at it for a long time. Then I deleted the thread. Not blocked. Not dramatic. Just gone. That afternoon, I sat on my balcony watching the city move without me. Cars passing. People arguing. People laughing. Life continuing without commentary. That's when it hit me. She wasn't crying because she loved me. She was crying because the door didn't open when she expected it to. And once you see that difference, you can't unsee it. It's been a few weeks now. No surprise messages. No friends checking in. No dramatic reappearances. Just space. Real space. The kind that lets you hear your own thoughts again. I won't pretend it was painless. There were moments, usually late at night, where I almost missed the chaos. When your nervous system gets used to constant tension, calm can feel wrong at first. Empty. Like you're waiting for something bad to happen. But it didn't. Instead, small things started to feel good again. Making plans without asking permission. Saying no without bracing for backlash. Realizing I wasn't actually forgetful, lazy, or selfish. I was just living with someone who needed me smaller to feel bigger. The last I heard, Lena moved back in with her mom, temporarily. I heard she tells people I abandoned her, that I became cold overnight, that she never saw it coming. I believe her. People like that never do. Here's the part I'm posting this for, because I wish someone had said it to me sooner. When someone says, I'm leaving, don't stop me. They're not asking for space. They're asking for proof of control. They expect pleading, chasing, reassurance. They expect you to perform. And when you don't, when you simply say okay, they don't see strength. They see betrayal. But it isn't betrayal. It's respect. For their words. For yourself. She stood on my doorstep crying. Not because she loved me, but because for the first time in her life, a door stayed closed when she knocked. And I didn't feel cruel. I felt free. TLDR, my girlfriend threatened to leave to control me. I let her. Turns out the moment you stop playing your assigned role, the whole dynamic collapses. Sometimes the calmest response is the one that ends everything and saves you. Bye-bye.